It doesn't really matter what the context of what Henry David Thoreau is talking about here. Anyway, I'm going to reread it and I'm going to contextualize it in that. But I'm going to repeat for you another quote that I just really love. But I want you to understand something if you watch this all the way through before you get to the end. And it's something else he said. He talks about how everything that everybody says when it comes to way of life, how you should live, advice, none of it has any legs to stand on if there's no proof. My life, my lived experience, is my proof. And so as somebody who's telling you that he's an idiosyncratic genius, that he's thought about these things without listening to what other people had to say about them because he found the conversation around these topics too shallow, and in that way came to his own conclusions on these topics, and then when he goes back and reads them, he finds that, oh, they already existed. If I'm proving that to you, that I'm an idiosyncratic genius and that all of that is true about me, then it's necessary for you to see where I find myself and these other pre-existing writers, especially these greats. Like Henry David Thoreau is one of the greats, one of the giants of North American continental philosophy, especially American, United States philosophy. He was a big deal. He inspired a lot of people for a long time, and just because you didn't read him doesn't mean that your granddad hadn't read him, and that your granddad's having read him didn't inform why your granddad was the way your granddad was. For example, he talks about unexamined advice, people that give advice and then you test it out, and if you find out that the only thing that you really learned from them is that they're a fucking idiot. And so he asks these three clauses. Could a greater miracle take place than for us to look through each other's eyes? In an instant, we should live through all the ages of the world. Aye, and all the worlds of the ages. That's the question that I'm approaching and that I've been tackling for 12 years with Robert Longshore. My project, This Is Not Robert Longshore, is that exactly. It's an opportunity for you to see the glimpse through the eyes of another lived being, a lived being who was never human, but lived a human experience. What greater miracle could occur than if I were to write that so well and compile it and edit it and arrange it and produce it so well that you believed it was real? And one of the motifs I use is, in the span of an hour of reading, going through multiple ages and multiple worlds of ages. I'm telling you, you're missing out. When I read it, I go, God damn, that guy's a genius. Nobody writes like this. Nobody's even tried anything like this. It's way too ambitious. But I wouldn't have known back then that it was so ambitious because the conversation around literature, storytelling, and religion was so shallow.